She's a female friend, my girlfriend.
How long are you guys dating?
A year.
Oh, yeah. How come none of the family members know that you guys were dating?
Because it's actually complicated. It's complicated.
So tell us about the complication.
We don't get to see each other all the time.
Did you kill Salome?
Yes.
Why did you kill her?
Why did I kill her? Because if you don't have each other all the time, you don't have each other all the time.
Is there a reason to kill?
Why did you kill Salome?
Guys, I'm here with an update on this case involving Timileyin Ajayi, who is just 32 years old, and an alleged gospel musician, and the fact that since about 24 hours ago, this guy has unalived 24-year-old Salome Adaidu. Now, in my first video, I told you the story had two versions circulating, and I was still digging further. And I think that we are getting close to something, because initially there were rumors and speculations out there, but now an interview has been granted by Channels TV in Nigeria to Timileyin Ajayi whilst he was in the custody of the Criminal Investigation Department in Nasarawa State in Nigeria. And this time around, you are going to hear from the horse's own mouth, that is, the horse being Timileyin Ajayi himself, admitting to what he did to Salome Adaidu, and then going further to state the reason why he did it, and go on to add the fact that he has no regret and no remorse for what he has done. Why? Because according to him, Salome Adaidu was cheating on him, and he caught her after he saw some sexting messages on her phone. Now, this testimony from him, or this account from him in the interview, opens up a door that is very messy, especially for the legacy of Salome Adaidu, and also himself, of course. For him, it's a done deal. But for Salome Adaidu, the mystery was about why would Timileyin do that? Because the initial two stories that were circulating was that the first was Timileyin said he was dating Salome Adaidu. He dated her for a year, and then he unalived her. And then the second version was a version coming from, allegedly, the family of the victim, Salome Adaidu, who were saying that no, their daughter doesn't know Timileyin Ajayi from anywhere. It's just a case of a one-time abduction and killing. So this was the contention, but now Timileyin has come out himself again to vividly explain that they were dating. And it begins to put a question mark on the deceased. And like I always say, dead men tell no tales. Salome Adaidu is not here to speak for herself. And so, by virtue of that fact, I'll still leave room for the possibility that although Timileyin has said this in an interview, he could still possibly be lying. Because bear in mind, there are also testimonies out there that he's a pathological liar, allegedly. So, for me, I'm still saying that until police investigations reveal everything which we can consider to be the closest we would ever get to facts on this case, everything is to be taken with a pinch of salt. But this is what the suspect, Timileyin Ajayi, has said. According to him, they were dating, himself and Salome Adaidu. They were dating on the low. And it turns out that Salome Adaidu was being messy behind him. Sorry, to the point that he caught her cheating. And if that is true, it begins to create a very disgusting look for Salome. God rest her soul, of course, because there are rumors also that allegedly her family is claiming that she never knew Timileyin and that she was even engaged to a man about to get married this year. So if it turns out that she was actually engaged to a man to be married, but then Timileyin is telling the truth and they were dating, and she was still cheating on him with other men, then she begins to look like that sort of woman who is for the streets. Because some people would now say that if this is true, then maybe she brought this upon herself, because unfortunately for her, she was cheating on this guy she was coming to marry with Timileyin, and she was further cheating on Timileyin with other guys. I hope that is not true, because if it's true, then the compassion for her begins to wait per the standards of morality in some people's eyes, because somebody would argue that if you had just been faithful to the man you were about to marry, all these guys wouldn't be in your life to mess you up. That is also not to say that we are condoning the murder, but that is to say that doing wrong things have a way of coming back around to bite you. And sometimes you meet some crazy people who do crazy things. Like somebody said, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. But that is based on an analysis that Timileyin is telling the truth. But again, like I said, he could be lying, in which case Salome Adaidu could actually be the virtuous lady her family is portraying her to be. But before I continue, let's just go and listen to the interview, and then I'll come and wrap up.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have each other all the time.
Simi, call this guy for me. You are here. Simi, you talked that time. Why you did like this? Tell us.
Sometimes it's not because we don't really have each other all the time.
Simi, start from where you told me you invited Salome.
I invited Salome
Okay.
to come around once in a while.
Okay.
And we get to be most of the time. We've had a lot of things going on.
All right. On that day when she came to your house, when you invited
Narrate
her,
what happened on the day that you killed her.
She came to my house and we're actually vibing. We're not actually vibing well. But based on one or two things,
what is the one or two things?
we started getting close to each other. And I saw that my vibe and her vibe came together. So that was how we came to be together.
And that's how you killed her. Just tell us how you carried out, how long you planned to carry out the attack, and how you executed it.
It's not something I really planned on. Something that it happened on that day, and it happened. Not like I had a plan in mind.
Simi,
Ma,
you told me that when she came, you caught her doing something. You caught her sex chatting with another man. That was why you killed her. So tell them, what is it? What has she done to you to deserve this? Tell them.
she was always cheating. She hid most of the things from me most times.
How did you get to know?
Because I saw her phone.
How? When did you get to know?
I saw her phone, like I said.
What did you see in the phone that made you very angry?
Most of the chat with the other guys. That's what I saw on the phone.
So that was when you decided to kill her.
Yes.
Do you have any regrets?
I don't have any regret.
Okay, you don't regret killing her.
I don't.
Why?
Because life is reciprocal. That's what I thought. Life is reciprocal. And if you must be with someone, you have to be reciprocal with that person. You have to understand what that person is going through, so that you can actually put yourself in the position that kind of person is going through. So that was why I didn't have any regret, because we were actually compatible. So that was why.
So, Mr. Timmy, please narrate how it happened, what you saw that made you kill, and how you did it. What happened on that day?
What happened on that day was very simple. I caught her cheating on me. And so I brought it to her awareness that she was cheating. She refused. She refused. She didn't want to accept until I showed her the chat and showed her what she did, what she admitted, and told me she was sorry. It's never gonna happen again. That was what happened.
So afterwards, you now asked her to go into the bathroom. What happened?
After that, I told her to go into the bathroom. She went to the bathroom and started some things. Immediately started those things. I couldn't take it lightly. I had to go into the room of where I can get some certain things that will happen. So I took the knife from the restroom and went into her. Immediately she was lying her hand down. I held her neck and I did what I had to do, and that was it.
When she died, what happened?
When she died, nothing really happened.
You went and took the cutlass, then what?
I only took some parts of the knife, and that was it. That was what happened.
So how were you caught?
I was not caught. I surrendered myself.
It's not true.
How? You were caught trying to dispose.
I surrendered myself. If I didn't want anybody to catch me, I would have done that. It's very simple.
It's not true.
It's simple, to be honest.
Simi said he surrendered himself.
Are you ready to face the wrath of the law?
It's not a big thing to pay. It's not a big thing to pay.
It's not a big thing to pay.
All right, so you heard it yourself. And, you know, when you look at Timileyin sitting there, you look at the pensive mood he's in. Prior to hearing him speak to the interviewer, you would think that maybe this guy has had some reflection after he did all this and maybe he has some regrets. But for him to come out and say that he doesn't have any regrets, he admits taking her life, but he doesn't have any regrets, and he's expecting that what he did will be reciprocated to him. He's ready to take on his punishment, and going on to say that he doesn't have any regrets because life is reciprocal, and if you do something to someone, you have to be reciprocal with that person. And I agree. I think that is what is called karma. What you give is what you get. And to that effect, I always say that if you are dealing with somebody, don't think you are wise, especially in a relationship. Don't go out there and be playing with people and thinking that you are smart and you are cheating on your spouses and your partners. And you are a player and you think it's a big deal and you are the guy or you are the girl. I tell you, the only thing you are playing with, or let me say the only two things you are playing with is the emotions of that person and your own life. Because somebody could come right out of the gate like Timileyin after you get caught and you wish you were just faithful or you had stayed faithful to one person. There's so much tension in the world these days. You don't want to be the one that is going to trigger an emotion people can't bear. Yes, the law will come for them, but sometimes the law is too slow. Because if what Timileyin is saying is true, then it means that he has actually admitted. And it doesn't look like he did that under any duress. I'm struggling to see how he can come back to counter what he just said. But if what he's saying is true, then it means that Adaidu Salome contributed to this outcome. Imagine she was faithful to this person she was dating and she avoided Timileyin altogether. Or if there was not even another man she was going to marry and she just stayed faithful to Timileyin, these things wouldn't happen. You know, when these things come up, sometimes people also say that, oh yeah, maybe she cheated, but he shouldn't have done that, which is true. But the reality is, when people's pain are triggered, people react differently. somebody will see what Timileyin saw and quietly break up and go. Somebody will see the same thing, makes up noise, break up and go. Somebody will see the same thing and also stay in the relationship because he or she may also be cheating, yet to be caught. And then somebody may see what Timileyin saw, allegedly, and will do what Timileyin did. That is where the danger is. So this is an advice to people out there. Just be fair to human beings. When you are dealing with somebody on an emotional level, I believe at that point you have a power to elicit either a great outcome or a terrible outcome from the person, depending on how sincere you deal with the person. I hope that the truth will come out because the story is beginning to get murky. Initially, it was reported he was a Yahoo boy. It was for money rituals. But if what he's saying is true, then it means it's for something else altogether. It was a crime of passion. But again, like I said, he has been touted to be a pathological liar, allegedly. And if that's the case, we have to take what he said with a pinch of salt because it could still be that it was for rituals. And then he got caught and he's trying to sell a different story to protect the people he was going to give the human parts to. But further reports are actually indicating that he had chopped her up into several pieces, so it seems he was trying to dispose her off bit by bit. So even though he has given this account in the interview, the story is still not fully set. I'm waiting for the police to come in and then sort everything out, but my condolences to the family of Salome Adaidu. Dead men tell no tales. She's not here to say her version of the story, so I'll still give her the benefit of the doubt. And even Timileyin, he's innocent until proven guilty. So, as always, I'm following the case. As and when there's an update, I'll definitely let you know. Subscribe if you are yet to do so. Please and please again, be sincere with people and stay safe out there. I'll catch you on the next one.